So one of the best things about having 4 brothers growing up, because there's actually 5 boys in our family, is that we could basically play fighting games 24/7.
And Mario Kart, GoldenEye.
That's true.
Oh, GoldenEye, bro. The facility level was the best.
That's very good. But we played, I think, more than anything else, I think we played Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. They were our 2 go-tos.
Mortal Kombat, actually, when we were younger.
Mortal Kombat. And then later on, Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
Soul Calibur, I think, is actually our favourite fighting game. As a family, it's like the family fighting game.
And it's the only one that I think ever accomplished 3D fighting really well.
All these like Virtual Fighter and
all these
Tekken fans are like,
it was him. Let's get him, fellas.
Okay, fair enough.
Stop talking. So this weekend we got our hands on the new DBZ Fighter, and we want to give you our impressions of it and also a little bit of a warning. DBZ Fighter, it's called Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball FighterZ.
So we're doing a review today and we definitely know the name.
Definitely
we know the name of it, so that's a good start, people.
Like, but I think it was DBZ Fighter. I would have thought it would be like
Dragon Ball Z Fighter.
Dragon Ball Z Fighter, but it's not. It's actually Dragon Ball FighterZ. That's what's
Are you sure?
Yes. Okay. Look, I'll show you.
Oh yeah,
Dragon Ball FighterZ. Told you.
That's weird.
So that's our review of Dragon Ball Z Fighter.
Yes,
Here you
guys,
go, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you're welcome.
Is a video game.
I know a fair amount about fine food and drink. This is a white.
And we have told you the name of it.
Yes, and the name is that. So whenever someone's asked you, if you say it correctly, they'll know that you know what you're talking about.
You'll look legit.
Because 90% of people are going to be like, Dragon Ball Z Fighter.
And you're like,
that's what I did.
So we got sent a code for DBZ Fighter, DB Fighter Z. Let's try again. So we got sent a code for Dragon Ball FighterZ, and it was the beta code. It was an open beta available on the weekend, or maybe it was closed. I don't know. But ananyway, there was a lot of people.
No, it was open because
anyone could do it.
You could go on. You could just get on and do it. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's right. Because we got sent a code for the early access, and I gotta say, I actually enjoyed it, like a lot, in fact.
I was on the fence. Like, I wasn't walking into that going, "Oh, this is gonna be shit." I was just like, "Well, cool. I don't know what this is." Like, you know, it could have either been, you know, a really accomplished fighter, or it could have just been something for the fans that you just jump on and like it's not really deep or anything. But I was very pleasantly surprised for a number of reasons. Number one, I think, was it's so beautifully polished.
Man,
like,
it is.
You look at it and you're like, wow, this just looks nice. And also, I actually felt like the combat, when I first jumped on, I have to admit, it definitely feels a bit like a button masher when you start.
It does.
Like, you know, anyone that's played Soul Calibur, it kind of feels like you can just, every character's maxi, you know, you can just mash buttons and all these combos will happen and shit, and you know, and shit is happening.
Soul Calibur fans will know what that means.
If you're not
a Soul Calibur fan, just know that it's like this one guy with nunchucks.
Yeah.
And like you press anything and he's immediately wrecking everyone.
Literally, you can throw the controller in the dryer and then he'll just be killing people and shit. Like, he's fine, you know? It's the same thing here. It kind of feels like if you don't know what you're doing, you can just mash buttons and you can feel like an absolute god because everything just seems to work and combo so easily.
Yeah, but like, you know, for instance with Street Fighter, if you just press the punch button repeatedly, you will just punch.
It's different though.
With DBZ though, it's very different because if you press the punch button, it will actually launch you into some big ass combo.
Yeah.
And if you have special meter charged, it will even do a special move at the end of that combo for you. So the system feels like it could be really button mashy. But laid on top of that is this huge amount of complexity with the ability to break combos and parries and like guard break and double jump in the air and the supers and tagging people in because you can actually have 3 people in your party, so to speak, tag them in at any time. It's that real feeling of you know, easy to learn, difficult to master. I agree. Just comes through all of it at all times. And
when I first played it, I felt like this is a bit like a Marvel vs. Capcom, like
very much.
You know, really fast, jump in the air, heaps of combos and shit, and heaps is going on, and very much the assist buttons on the left, just like on PlayStation, where you could like one of your you know, assist partners could come in and do a quick punch or something while you're attacking. I feel like they have got a lot of those things from Marvel vs. Capcom. But ultimately, the more I played, I was like, yeah, this isn't Marvel vs. Capcom. It's definitely its own game.
It is.
It's maybe just as fast as Marvel vs. Capcom, but it is very much its own game. And also the way that it charges, you know, you have the ability to charge up and use that in different ways throughout the fight. it is certainly very strategic, although on the surface, if you've never played it before, you can really sink your teeth into it and have an enjoyable experience, which I actually at the beginning didn't really respect. I was like, oh, this feels like a button masher, but the more I played, I was like, you know what, they're onto something here. Like, they're giving you the ability to jump on and not know what you're doing and have fun, or really get to know the game and be like, fuck, I feel rewarded because there's enough depth here.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I just feel at all times as well, it was very visually spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
We're not fans of DBZ, by the way. I literally have never watched a single DBZ video.
I think I watched like the Frieza versus Goku bits.
I watched the meme of 9000. That's
we've all seen that.
I know there's a guy named Frieza, a guy named
Fridge,
Vagina,
Vagina.
So that's as much as I know. But even then, just watching it, I was like, "This looks."
There's a guy that's called a coffee. His name's Piccolo.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's swear to God, his name's Piccolo.
Yeah, we got this.
We know what we're talking about, people.
But,
we know.
But like, even that, I was looking at this game and I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I could definitely see how if I was a fan of this series, I'd be like, this is real like fan service because the amount of detail that they put into the environments, the characters, the animations.
Me and Ralph were just talking about a week ago about Doom, right? And the reason I bring this up because Doom makes you feel like you're super powerful. You know, you're like smashing, killing things, and you just feel like a total god. And this game gives you a very similar feeling, I feel. Like, you feel so powerful. Even if the other character is equally as powerful, you have a sense of, like, you can, you know, tear that world in half because you're so powerful. And that's quite different from Street Fighter, where you do feel like, yeah, you can do the Hadouken and Ryuken and stuff.
But like Street Fighter at that point. You're just like...
Yeah, it's just like two guys just punching each other.
Or women.
Or women.
Or women.
Or whatever. And Mortal Kombat gives you a feeling of, like, yeah, very dark, and, you know, there is a lot of, like, you know, supernatural powers at work or whatever, but it doesn't feel like any one of those characters can split the world in half.
Yeah.
Where this does.
It's very cool.
It does give you a great feel. So I would totally check this game out. I totally would.
I would too, but there's one very important warning that we have to offer you. It's a very, very important warning, in fact. The network stuff, the network issues that we encountered were horrendous. Like, horrendous. So basically, you sort of load into this lobby area, which is really cool because you're going to have like the little DBZ characters walking around and it looks really great, but we were dropping out of that thing every 10 minutes.
Yeah,
max.
it was not good.
Every time we finished a round, we would basically drop from the server again, have to reconnect manually.
Yeah. Access main security. Access main program grid.
You didn't say the magic word.
Please! God damn it! I hate this hacker crap.
I had to wait like 10 minutes to get a match. Sam waited longer than that and eventually gave up. I mean, you know...
if I had to be honest, it does... I think it's a beta thing. Like,
totally a beta thing.
I'm happy to sit back right now and go, let's just see the game come out. There might even be a few days after the game comes out that they're scrambling to just make sure that the servers work. I get that. Like, a lot of games that come out, when they come out, it's a shit fight on the servers. Like, I get that.
I think from what we've seen, don't forget, this game launches in like 9 days or something, okay?
Yeah.
The level of, like, shit-titude that's going down on these servers, I worry that it will be fixed before launch. So my strong advice to you is, do not buy this game at launch. Wait until it's confirmed that the servers actually work, because I suspect there's going to be a very bumpy road ahead during that launch window. And then after that, you might want to pick it up.
Yeah.
You don't want to be caught in a position where you paid for a product and you can't use it for 2 weeks.
I agree.
Because the launch servers are completely fucked.
You don't want to go out and buy the Master Chief Edition, and then it's like, oh, I'm glad I bought a game.
Like, still broken to this day.
It still doesn't work. So don't do that. You know, we love you, Bungie.
That was 343.
Oh my god!
My god!
Again, I keep doing that.
It's like the 8th time.
Oh.